the past few years, my team and I have sent over 10 million marketing emails that have generated more than $100 million in sales for e-commerce brands. And after sending that many emails, we've learned exactly what's working right now and what's complete garbage that everyone else keeps talking about online. That's why in this video, I'm sharing the 4 most important lessons that I've learned from doing email marketing for over 10 years with Klaviyo. These are the exact strategies that I use to scale brands to 40, 50, even up to 60% of revenue coming from emails. And if you stick around until the end, you'll understand why our approach gets results that most tactics you'll find online simply can't. The first lesson is that plain text emails beat heavily designed emails. I see way too many brands obsess over beautiful HTML heavily designed templates. They spend way too much time on custom headers, branded color blocks, and the perfectly placed product shots. And sure, they look impressive, but here's the thing. A simple plain text email written by the founder that looks like it's coming from a real human being is simply going to outperform all these polished emails in terms of open rate, click rate, and conversion rate. And I know this because we've A/B tested plain text emails thoroughly across some of the clients that we work with, and we found that the plain text emails tend to outperform the heavily designed emails. And you can see on my screen right here, this is the email number 2 of a welcome series. And I always recommend for any e-com brand, if you have a welcome series live, I recommend adding 1, maybe 2 plain text emails to really, cut through the noise and show people that you guys are a human being and that you actually care about the brand. So for this, in this example right here, this is email number 2. This single email generated over $27,000 in the last 30 days. And this is just a plain text email, like no design whatsoever. Just to show you an example of what that looks like in practice. So if you can see on my screen here, it says, hey, the first name. So we're getting personalized with the first name. I know you just joined a few hours ago, but I wanted to reach out personally. I'm Adam, the co-founder of Sun Home Saunas. Tyler and I started this company because we were frustrated by how disconnected we'd become from nature's healing power. What began as a personal quest for better recovery has grown into bringing spa-grade temperature therapy right into people's homes. If you're planning to explore the site, don't forget your Sweat 200 code for $200 off any infrared sauna. Our saunas have over 500 plus reviews and are reported best overall by Sports Illustrated, Men's Journal, Forbes, Rolling Stone, and many more. So as you can see, we're implementing some really, really serious social proof and some, serious, features that they were shown in. No pressure at all. Just wanted you to know that there's a real person behind these emails who genuinely cares about your wellness journey. We have the CTA link. Feel free to hit reply with any questions. I actually read these personally best and then sign off as a founder. So this simple plain text email really goes a long way to show people that, hey, the founder is actually reaching out. They actually care about my experience. We're not just another company that's just sending, promotional emails all the time. The second lesson that I've learned is that your welcome flow is worth more than your entire list. You see, most brands treat the welcome series as an afterthought. They send a couple emails and then that's it. But what they don't realize is that they're letting warm customers go cold. You see, subscribers are never more engaged than in the first 72 hours of joining your list. And after that, attention drops fast. So if all you're sending is 1 welcome email with the discount code, you're basically burning the best opportunity that you have. A 6 email sequence that tells your story, crushes objections, and sorts out who's ready to buy is gonna outperform a full year of regular campaign sends every time. So with that said, let me break down the 6 emails that every welcome series needs in order to turn a new subscriber into a first-time buyer. So in the first welcome email, we want to basically deliver the promise, right? This is going to be a designed email. The top 3 touch points is that we want to have the incentive above the fold, that we want to make that incentive the first thing that people see, because you have to remember these people sign up to the list for a reason, and that's to get that discount code or whatever the promotional incentive is. So we want to have the incentive above the fold. We want to give a short brand introduction. So just a quick, engaging explanation of who you are and what your brand stands for. And then obviously we want to have a strong call to action button to encourage them to shop and basically use their incentive. You can see an example of a brand that did this really, really well. They have the incentive at the very top, call to action button, another call to action button right here. With some of the benefits listed at the bottom. Email number 2 is similar to the example that I just showed you with the sauna company. So welcome email number 2 is basically the plain text founder check-in. You can see the type is plain text. You basically want to have a warm, personal tone. You want to write like you're speaking to one person, not like a massive audience. You want to maintain a founder's voice. You want to include maybe a short brand backstory or mission. And you want to have a soft discount reminder as well. So basically, you don't want the whole focus of the email to be on the discount, but you want to just remind them like, hey, by the way, your discount code is still active and available in case you wanted to use it. Email number 3 is going to be the brand story and urgency. So here is basically when we want to have like our last chance discount reminder email. We also want to kind of delve into our founder story in a bit more detail, maybe share why the brand was started, the problem that you guys were set out to solve, that sort of thing. And you want to have an emotional call to action button. So basically, you want to encourage subscribers to support the brand's mission by making their first purchase with your brand. Email number 4 is where we want to dive into that social proof and the pain points that your customers might be going through. So number 1, we want to call out very, very common pain points, right? You want to identify the top 2 or 3 reasons and challenges that your customers face on a daily basis. And you want to match each pain point with the review, most importantly, right? So reviews are really important, but reviews on their own don't really mean much if they're not tied to a specific pain. So you want to select reviews that speak to how your product actually resolved those problems specifically. And when someone is reading those reviews, they're going to be able to tie that directly back to their pain points, and that's going to resonate a lot more with them, and they're going to be a lot more likely to click on that call to action button and actually complete a purchase. Third step is that you want to reinforce trust. You want to include total review count, star ratings, or press mentions. So similar to how I did in the previous email, you can look at ways that you can implement 5-star ratings, reviews. If you have pictures of reviews as well, that's even better. Like maybe people using the product or images of your product on those reviews. It's going to go a really, really long way to implement in the welcome email number 4. Welcome email number 5 is going to be the bestseller spotlight. So here's when you want to feature your best-selling product or products. If you only sell one product, then just have that product be the full feature and full focus of the email. If you sell multiple products, and just maybe pick 2 or 3 of your top best-selling products, and you want to make that the hero of the email with a very, very strong visual at the very top of the email. Number 2 is that you want to explain why it's a bestseller and highlight the key benefits or the key problems that it actually solves for your customers. And again, you never can get tired of putting too many customer reviews on there. So you want to incorporate customer reviews and use testimonials that reinforce why people love this product or products so much. Email number 6 is your final urgency, kind of your Hail Mary email. Again, this is a plain text email. We found this to work really, really well. It's kind of like a last minute, last touch type of thing. So number 1, typically we found it best to upgrade the discount. So if you're offering 15% off in the original welcome series, maybe bump this up by 5% to 20%. So that way people can get like an extra motivation or extra push to place an order. And you want to present the new, stronger offer very, very clearly. So for example, you want to say, hey, I've upgraded your discount by 5%, or I've upgraded the discount from 10% to 15% just for you. So you can place an order today. You want to have a hard 24-hour deadline because you don't want to just make it seem like this discount's always going to be available. You want to make it seem like, this is actually expiring. It's very time sensitive, etc. And you want to emphasize that with clear language as well. You want to let them know like, hey, this is actually expiring soon. And again, you want to have one strong call to action button. Since this is a plain text email, it's more going to be like a call to action link that you're going to have. And you want to link directly to the store with the discount auto applied. I'll create like a new video on this, but it's pretty simple to do. You're just going to put your store name. This is if you're using Shopify, you're going to put your storename.com/discount/ whatever the discount code is. If people click that link, then that discount code is going to be automatically applied at checkout, which is going to help reduce friction and make it easy, very, very easy for people to place an order with your brand. By the way, I put together a free email revenue playbook that breaks down everything that I just covered and more. Inside, you'll find 9 complete flows, 32 plus email and SMS examples with high converting designs, the strategic rationale behind each and every single one of those flows, and a visual flowchart that breaks down each of the 7 flows in detail. The link is in the description if you want to download it for free. So the third lesson I've learned is that list size is just a vanity metric. Every brand brags about list size. It's the first thing that people flex when they talk about their email marketing. But here's the number they never bring up. How many of those subscribers are actually opening your emails? How many of them are clicking? How many of them are buying? Because 100,000 size list where 80,000 of them haven't opened an email in months, don't remember signing up, or only just signed up to get a discount code, that's not a real list. That's just dead weight. On the other hand, a 20,000 sized email list of real buyers who open every single email, click regularly, and actually want to hear from your brand is severely going to outperform a 100,000 sized bloated list. And also keep in mind that deliverability is reputation based now. Gmail, Yahoo, Hotmail, and all these other email service providers are literally watching everything. Your open rates, your spam rates, how many people are just ignoring your emails, etc. When you keep sending to unengaged people, you're basically telling those providers that people don't want to hear from your brand. And suddenly, even the people that do want to hear from you just aren't seeing your stuff anymore. You see, the brands that win with email obsess over the quality of their list. How are those subscribers acquired? How recently did they engage? Did they actually buy anything? They're constantly cleaning and re-engaging because they simply understand that a smaller, healthier list is worth 10 times more than a big bloated one. The other thing that founders don't realize is that Klaviyo charges you based on the number of active profiles that you have on your account. So even if a 100,000 size list just isn't performing well, guess what? You're still gonna be paying for those 100,000 profiles. So you're better off having a smaller list, paying less to Klaviyo, and having better deliverability than having a big bloated list that just isn't productive from a revenue standpoint at all. I've worked with a lot of different brands. Some of them have like a 10,000 sized email list. Some of them have even up to 150,000 sized email list. And honestly, some of the brands that have lower sized email lists actually produce more revenue than the brands that have higher email lists. And that's because the quality of the list is just that much better, right? So really think about that, with your brand. Like, email list is not everything. If I was an e-commerce brand, I'd rather have a list that's like, 10,000, 20,000 rather than 60, 70, 80,000 if that means that the quality of the list is better, because I know that with sending the right emails and having the right infrastructure in place, that smaller sized email list, because it's higher quality, is ultimately going to produce a lot more revenue. And I'm not going to have to pay all that money to Klaviyo to actually store all of those profiles. Something I've noticed after speaking with tons of founders is that they're terrified to email their list more than once a week. And in doing so, they're quietly leaving a lot of money behind. And the thinking is always the same. I don't want to annoy my subscribers. I don't want to piss people off. I don't want people to mark me as spam, etc., etc. So what happens? They hold back, they send one email a week or even less, and they wonder why their email list just isn't generating that much money. But here's what I've learned. If your emails are actually valuable, then your list wants to hear from you. It's as simple as that. Sending 2 to 3 times per week with content that actually resonates, tells a story, engages, educates, nurtures, etc. That's gonna help grow your engagement over time, not hurt it. This is the sweet spot to drive consistent revenue without hurting your list. Now, the real fear should not be sending too often. The real fear should be sending 3 emails per week with only promotions and no value at all. Constant emails like buy this, sale ends tonight, and just tons of discounts, that's what's gonna train your subscribers to just ignore you. And even worse, it trains them to only buy something from you whenever you offer a discount code. That's what tanks your deliverability and kills your sender reputation over time. Now, don't get me wrong, promotions are still important, but the rule that I always come back to is 80% of the email should be value driven, the other 20% should be promotion, not the other way around. Most brands have this completely flipped, and it shows in their numbers. A simple gut check that I always come back to is, if you don't look forward to receiving your own emails, then neither will your list. So if you like our approach to email marketing and you want to better understand how we actually help e-commerce brands double or even triple their email revenue in less than 60 days, then go ahead and book a call. I'll personally take a look and I'll let you know quickly whether or not you're a good fit for our email system. That's it for today's video. I'll see you in the next one.